Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. As Chelsea fans, life is very uncertain right now and I have so much to get through with you guys today, it's ridiculous. I have not had this much amount of information for a video in all my life. And you know, I'm not surprised that it's come to this because Chelsea are on the verge of absolute catastrophe the way that it's sounding in terms of what the government are doing to us. We are being punished right now. We just are at this point. This just feels like a direct attack on Chelsea. This doesn't even feel like Roman's being punished because let's be honest here. Roman Abramovich has been sanctioned. But at the end of this, he'll be okay. Come on, he'll be fine. What, like he hasn't got assets elsewhere? Come on. Yes, he's been given his sanction here in the UK. Yes, he's been given a sanction in Canada. He has one asset in Canada, I think. You're telling me he hasn't got other assets distributed elsewhere? He wouldn't be a multi-billionaire if he didn't. So look, Roman will be fine without all this and that's going on. He's not even in the country. Let's have it right. When the sale was meant to happen, he was going to cut his loss in terms of 1.5 billion. He was going to donate pretty much the entire sale, except for what he put in 2003, to the victims of Ukraine, as he said. We have to quote what he said in that statement that he put out on chelseafc.com. But now it just seems like Chelsea are being attacked directly by the government because the news, the fact that, yes, Chelsea have been frozen, well, today has gotten worse. And we're going to get through everything. Now, for those that don't know, yesterday, after Norwich, Chelsea finished 3-1, thankfully to us, we already knew that 3 had pulled out. The sponsor, 3 on the shirts, they've suspended their sponsorship. They've said temporarily, let's be honest, we don't want you back. It's as simple as that. 3, you've bounced and you're entitled to do that. It's your private company. You make your own decisions. Best of luck to you in your future endeavours. But don't let their door hit you on the way out. That's the way that I see it. Trivago, thankfully, have stuck by us. They are ready to stick by the club. And earlier on, most recently, in the last hour or two, we've had Nike come out and also say that they're sticking around too. So much appreciated to them. I'm gonna run through the news as it all happened during the day. We're gonna go through each bit of news and then we'll analyze at the end because there's so much. So pardon me if I jump from one story to the other because there's so much here to cover and you're about to understand. Let's get into it. So earlier on, we had the whole thing from the Daily Mail saying, Nike could be pulling out. What's going on? Could the club could go bust in weeks after sanctions on oligarch owner Roman Abramovich left Blues unable to sell tickets on merchandise with £40 million shirt deal axed and staff laid off. All this is actually true. However, we have come to learn since this article was actually written that Nike are sticking by and they have not pulled out. So thank goodness for that. We move into what else has happened. This came from Martin Lipton this morning. Chelsea have been told that a deal to sell the club must be agreed before the licence runs out on May 31st to guarantee the survival of the club. The licence that allows the club to play remainder of the season won't be renewed unless Roman Abramovich agrees a sale. Now, what that means is that Roman Abramovich has to give the green light to the government in order for them to carry out a sale, basically. It's not going to be Roman. Unless if the government allow Roman to agree a sale with someone, but he doesn't take any money. He then tells the government, I've agreed to sell with this party, now you deal with it. Because Roman's been sanctioned, he ain't taking a penny from this. So, I don't know what way it's going to go. Is it going to be a case of Roman has to give the green light for the government to pursue all of that, which I think is the case? Or are the government going to allow Roman to make a sale and then pass the actual sell onto the government where they will take all the money instead? I hope it's option number 2 and not option number 1. Because if it's option number 1 and if it's Roman just giving the club up to the government and then the government have to do the sell, he could, realistically, let's be honest here. Yes, Roman loves Chelsea. And Roman has been a fantastic owner for us. For 19 years, we've done incredible things. And, you know, for that, we will always be thankful. For taking our club to the level that it's been taken to, we'll be grateful forever. But Roman has been targeted by the British government, okay? He could, if he wanted to, if it's option number 1, he could just be like, I'm not doing anything. And as a result, the club would fold. But it would mean the British government do not get a penny. And that could be a Russia versus UK sort of mentality. Not Roman Chelsea. It would be Roman as a Russian to the British government going, you're taking me down, I'm bringing you down with me. You ain't taking a penny from this. He could. I'd like to think that he won't. I'd like to think that he won't. And he will allow Chelsea to be taken aboard by the government and then the sale would be done. But I don't know if it's going to be option 1 or option 2. If you have any knowledge of what option it would be, let me know in the comments because I'd love to know exactly how it would go down. Anyway, let's keep going. We've got loads to get through. Make sure you have popcorn and drinks ready because this is going to be a while. Chelsea sponsor Trivago. We are looking forward to a transition of ownership as soon as possible and want to support the club in this process. We will provide any update to our business relationship if and when appropriate. This is the full statement from Trivago. Goes on to say, as a global travel brand, we believe in connecting and bringing people together. These are values shared by Chelsea Football Club, an institution that is now 117 years old with a tradition so vitally important to its fans and communities, both locally and globally. That is why we decided to partner with the club last year. They go on to explain that, in terms of the transition, we will stick by you. We will stick by you. We aren't going anywhere. Simple as that. We're not going anywhere. So, Trivago, much appreciated. Much appreciated. If you have a hotel to book, all right, I'm going to do this for free. If you have a hotel to book, if you're looking for somewhere to stay, go Trivago. Go Trivago. And don't get 3 on your phone network. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, we move on. More news. Let's get into this. This is about a potential owner. Nick Candy's continued bid for Chelsea could find favour in government, notably for Stamford Bridge Stadium redevelopment plans that analysts believe could boost CFC commercial revenue as much as 25% per annum. And then there's an article in terms of Nick Candy confirming that he is still interested in buying Chelsea Football Club. And this is honestly, I've heard good things about Nick Candy, I'm not going to lie. Season ticket holder, has been going to the game since he was 4 years old. His dad apparently had a chance to play for Chelsea, so he's very well connected. However, he's not rich enough. His net worth, I believe, is only 1.1 billion. So he would need a consortium. That's the thing. Now, hopefully he chooses wisely. But to have someone like Nick Candy around, that could actually work in our favour, especially with a plan for redevelopment. Let's have it right. Look, we love Stamford Bridge. I love Stamford Bridge. Everything about Stamford Bridge, I love to bits. When I go to games, I haven't been to a game in a while, but when I went to games and I go to the stadium, even if I'm outside the stadium, if I'm at the mega store, whatever, but when I'm in the ground, there's a feeling. There's an old school but modern community sort of blue feeling. It's lovely. And I know that with a new stadium, that essence might get taken away in the same way that Arsenal fans say that it's not the same at the Emirates like it was at Highbury. Like you get Tottenham fans saying it's not the same at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium than it was at White Hart Lane, even though it's the same complex, it's the same land, but it's a different stadium. I'm worried that, yes, a part of that might disappear, but for the club to develop, we have to be honest. Right now, Tottenham make £40 million a year more than us on matchday revenue because they've just got a bigger stadium. And realistically, we should have a capacity of about 70 or 80,000. We should. We can fill that out easily. We should be able to double what we have at Stamford Bridge at the moment. The only problem is the location. To try and get where Stamford Bridge is right now to an 80,000 capacity, it's not happening. 60, maybe. But apart from that, nothing else. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Will we have to relocate? Don't know. But realistically, for the growth of the club, we would have to get a new stadium. We just would have to. Even though, yes, it might not feel the same. But hopefully we can try and make it feel the same. I don't know. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Now we're going to get into bits and pieces where it's becoming more as to what happened in the later part of the day. But before we do that, I want to show you something which I think is very important, and it was shared by Simon Phillips. This is going to give a lot of clarity, and I feel like it's important to share. So check this out. This is from Martin Samuel of the Daily Mail. It is some irony that a fully sanctioned Stamford Bridge will host Newcastle this weekend, who are owned by the investment fund of a country that is involved in a war in Yemen that has killed 100,000 people, displaced 4 million people, and left a further 24 million people in need of aid. For those that don't know, the Yemen crisis is unthinkable. unthinkable. And it's not new. It's been going on for years. It's directly being orchestrated by the powers of the Saudi Arabian. And we know that the investment fund of Newcastle United comes directly from someone who is the Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman. He is responsible for what's going on. We're not seeing any sanctions there. That's just to make it clear in terms of equality, well, true equality. I'm not talking about equality that gets battered about nowadays. I'm talking about true equality. Lack of, not having hypocrisy. We're seeing lots of hypocrisy going on right now. So I just thought it would be wise to share something like that, because Chelsea are being targeted left, right and centre by everybody right now, and I just don't get why others are not getting the same treatment if we're actually trying to be fair and logical about the situation. But anyway, that's a story for a different day. Now, in terms of Bolhi, who is part owner of the LA Dodgers. He is going to be part of that consortium with the Swiss 86-year-old Wiss, who is looking to buy Chelsea Football Club. He's put this little video out, and it's 2 minutes long, but in it, he talks about the Premier League. He talks about actual football, and he tells us everything we want to hear, if I'm being honest with you guys. Yes, he's an American sports owner, but everything that's come out of his mouth is actually spot on. Now, Kroenke at one time was spot on, you know? So I don't know whether to take this with 100%. But everything he said was right in terms of football being the biggest sport in the world, the Premier League being the biggest league in football, which is the best sport in the world and the biggest sport in the world, and investing in a club, being able to make sure that he wants to win. He wants to make sure that, you know, if he were to buy a team in the Premier League, that he would put his all in to make sure that that club reaches the top. He tells us everything we need to hear, and I like it. So far, in terms of LA Dodger fans in the United States, they've been saying that he's been a great owner. But then again, Stan Kroenke's been a great owner for the Rams. Look at Arsenal. I don't know. So I don't know. If anyone has any more insight, again, let me know in the comments in terms of Bolhi and whether you reckon he would actually be quite good. Anyway, let's get into the latest news of today, though, which is absolutely flabbergasting. This is where it's going to get mind-blowing. We already know that Stamford Bridge as a whole is pretty much closed. The Megastore is shut. Frankie's, the bar, is shut. Under the Bridge is shut. Staff have already been partially laid off. In terms of content on the Chelsea YouTube channel, nothing's been put up because people have to get paid. And right now, all freelancing has been stopped. Well, we've got news in terms of maybe why that is. Check this out. Exclusive. Chelsea facing financial ruin as bank accounts frozen after Roman Abramovich sanctions. This is a story with Stephen Swinford. Following on from the fact that Chelsea have had their bank accounts frozen, check this out as well, because this is how deep it's going. Chelsea are unable to buy fuel for the team bus as things stand, as the credit cards are temporarily frozen. That's from The Athletic. Obviously, there's a little thing here, a little joke in terms of how Tuchel and the players are going to run on Sunday to the game. They're going to have to walk. Matt Law goes into all sorts of detail in regards to what has happened with the bank accounts. Chelsea lay out doomsday scenario to the government in bid to get licence amended. Parts of Stamford Bridge would have to be shut. The Fear Club would not be able to get to the end of the season. No programme sales on Sunday. Staff have been stood down. Freelancers have not been paid. Chelsea were told that the cost of hosting a home game must not exceed £500,000, but the government have been informed that it costs between £800,000 to £1 million to stage a Premier League match. Utter madness. How is this about Ukraine? At this point, this is absolutely true. And that's come from Matt Law. This is also another example. This isn't about the war anymore. It's a direct attack on Chelsea. Simon Phillips saying people are worried about their jobs. One Cobham source has told The Athletic. No one knows what's going on. Another claim that the club is starting to behave as if it is in administration and cutting back on anything they deem to be unnecessary costs. And we got more in terms of Chelsea have currently been left unable to buy fuel for the team bus, according to The Athletic. We have more in terms of this. Basically, Chelsea have multiple bank accounts. One predominantly being with Barclays. Barclays have frozen the bank accounts. Chelsea cannot access any money right now, which is flabbergasting. We don't know how long this is going to go on for. In terms of Chelsea, apparently they seem to be optimistic that maybe this freezing of bank accounts will be very temporary. And in a matter of days, it might be let go and the bank account will be unfrozen. But this is where we're in right now. Chelsea are in absolute financial turmoil. Right now, as of tonight, Chelsea cannot access a penny. We're broke. Right now, we are broke. It's like you've got all the money in the world that we have to our name stashed in a safe, and we haven't got the code, or we haven't got the key, and no one has it. We can't get in. We are officially empty pockets. We ain't got a thing, you know? Right now, in terms of my wallet, I don't have any cash in my wallet. I have as much as Chelsea Football Club have access to their money. At least I've got a bank card, actually. I can access my money. Chelsea can't access their money. Nothing. So this is serious. This is serious. Even in terms of, thankfully we're playing at home on Sunday. So I don't know if the players might have to get lifts to Stamford Bridge, but there's no money. There is no money. So yeah, thankfully we're playing at home. They play. All of them will have to drive, I guess, to Stamford Bridge. There is no driving to Cobham and getting a team bus. Forget it. Everyone drive to the stadium. Pay from your own pockets. That might get compensated later. And then after that, we'll see what happens going into Middlesbrough away, FA Cup, Lille away, Champions League. Right now, we can't travel to Lille. We just can't. Unless if things have been booked. If things have not been booked, we ain't going. Unless if this gets lifted. This has to get lifted. And Matt Law has made it clear. A sell needs to happen ASAP. There needs to be a license given out for Chelsea to be able to get a sell through quick. If not, we could be in deep trouble here. Deep trouble. I never thought I'd be saying these words, but here we are. That's the latest with Chelsea Football Club. It's not a good night. It's not been a good 24 hours. It's not been a good 48 hours by the looks of it. It won't be good tomorrow either. We'll just have to keep our tabs on it. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I will give you my match preview for Chelsea versus Newcastle. And obviously at the back of our heads, we're going to have this and waiting for the latest and seeing if things are going to get better. But yeah, right now, look, what I do want to end the video on, Chelsea fans, stick together. Stick together. We will get through this. We will get through this one way or another, even if it meant the worst. Even if it meant going into administration. Even if it meant getting relegated. That's worst case scenario. I don't think that will happen. But even if it did, we're still here. We're still here. We're still here. And anyone that doesn't want to be here, see you later. Simple as that. But we are still here. I don't care if Chelsea were playing #United. If Chelsea were playing SE Dons, right? If Chelsea were playing YouTube teams, I'd still do a preview, watch long, and a review. I'm here, regardless, and I'll still be wearing, and I'll still be flying that up high, regardless. The blue flag never drops; it keeps flying high, and it's as simple as that. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Win, lose, or draw, we're blue till we die. So Chelsea fans, stick together, be there for each other, and we'll see how we get through this. But it's gonna get interesting. Anyway, thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the subscribe button if you are new. Hit the notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Smash the like button if you've enjoyed this. I'll see you tomorrow for the preview. Have a good one, people. In a bit. Take care and peace.